Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to all of you. Respected dignitaries on the dais, and we have with us our founder and president, Symbiosis, and chancellor, Symbiosis International Deemed University, SIU, Dr. S.B. Muzumdar, Honorable President of the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, ICCR, Dr. Vinay Sahasrabudhe, our guest of honor, Honorable Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha, and Indian classical dancer, Dr. Sonal Mansingh, our Principal Director, Symbiosis, and Pro-Chancellor, SIU, Dr. Vidya Yeravdekar, our Vice Chancellor, SIU, Dr. Rajani Gupte, Director General, ICCR, Ambassador Kumar Tuhin, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to this, the 6th Pandit Deendayal Upadhyay Memorial International Oration 2023, which is being organized on the occasion of World Cultural Day by ICCR in collaboration with Symbiosis International Deemed University. We speak of culture, and specifically our rich Indian culture. As is customary for any auspicious occasion, let us invite the blessings of the Almighty with the lighting of the lamp. I request all the dignitaries on dais to please proceed to light the lamp. May I now call upon our Principal Director and Pro-Chancellor, SIU, Dr. Vidya Yeravdekar, to deliver the welcome address.
Today indeed is an auspicious evening for Symbiosis. We have a very august dais. Dr. S.B. Muzumdar, the Chancellor of this university, Dr. Vinay Sahasrabudhe, the Honorable President of ICCR, Dr. Sonal Mansingh, the guest of honor, the Vice Chancellor of Symbiosis International University, Dr. Rajani Gupte, and Ambassador Kumar Tuhin, DG ICCR, and many dignitaries who are sitting in the audience, staff of Symbiosis, well-wishers of Symbiosis, and of course foreign students who are here in the audience. As I said, it's going to be a very memorable evening today, as we have none other than Mrs. Sonal Mansingh here today on the dais to speak on a very pertinent subject. Symbiosis has been associated with ICCR, I think, for more than 50 years. I still remember as a small child, when Symbiosis was established in 1971, there were a large number of ICCR students who were studying in Pune city, primarily from countries of West Asia, Iran, and of course Southeast Asia. And they were all studying in various colleges affiliated to Pune University, And because we lived on the Ferguson College campus, many of them would come home to have a meal, and my mother would cook homemade food for these foreign students who were ICCR scholars. But apart from that, Dr. Muzumdar sir himself was on the General Assembly of ICCR for several years. And I also got an opportunity to be on the governing board of ICCR, and now I'm on the General Assembly of ICCR. Of course, these designations or nominations really don't matter, but I think what matters is that the vision and mission of ICCR and Symbiosis align with each other. The vision of Symbiosis being Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, believing that the world is one family, and to promote international understanding through quality education is very in sync with the mission and vision of ICCR. I think what we do and what ICCR does is almost the same, and therefore we always look forward to hosting events of ICCR. Initially, the office of ICCR, which was established in Pune for the first time, was established here right on this campus. Later, of course, they moved into a much larger, larger office. But still, we are in touch with each other. And the students of ICCR who have any problems do come to the Symbiosis Center for International Education, and jointly ICCR office and SCEIE sort out the problems of foreign students. Today we are indeed happy that Dr. Sonal Mansingh is going to speak on a very important topic about how dance can be a soft power. And we in Symbiosis always believe that it is this soft power that helps build relationships between countries. For us at Symbiosis, we believe that education is the soft power, and students who have passed out of Symbiosis and have gone back to their home countries are still connected with us. In fact, many of them do visit Symbiosis, and not only visit Symbiosis, but like to send their children back to Symbiosis. This is the kind of soft power that Symbiosis has exhibited since the last 50 years. We believe that these foreign students are like unofficial ambassadors of goodwill, and whenever they go back home, they not only carry good impressions about Symbiosis, but of course about the city of Pune, and more importantly about our country. And we always strive hard through our international office to give them the best experience while they are here for 3 years or 5 years or 2 years of their study, so that when they go back, they do talk good about our country. With these few words, I once again welcome Madam to our campus. I hope this is not your last visit. This is the beginning of a relationship with you, and we will hope to see you more often on the Symbiosis campus. I would also like to thank Ambassador Tuhinji and of course Dr. Vinay Sahasrabudhe for allowing us to host this magnificent event, and I hope that we can host many other events of ICCR in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Vidya ma'am. We shall now move on to the felicitation of our guest of honor. May I request Dr. S.B. Muzumdar to felicitate Honorable Member of Parliament Rajya Sabha and Indian classical dancer, Dr. Sonal Mansingh. Please put your hands together. Give a loud round of applause to our legendary dancer. May I also request Honorable President ICCR, Dr. Vinay Sahasrabudhe, to felicitate our legendary founder director, Dr. S.B. Muzumdar. Thank you, sir. I now call upon Dr. Vinay Sahasrabudhe to address our August gathering.
सिम्बॉयसिस असं नाव घेतल्यावर ज्यांचं नाव लगेच समोर येतं ते आपल्या सगळ्यांचे अतिशय आदरणीय डॉक्टर श्याम मुजुमदार. आजच्या आपल्या मुख्य वक्त्या भाषण ऐकण्यात आहोत डॉक्टर सोनल मानसिंग, संसद सदस्य आणि ज्येष्ठ नृत्यांगना, डॉक्टर विद्या येरवाडकर, त्याचबरोबर या विद्यापीठाच्या कुलगुरू डॉक्टर गुप्ते, भारतीय सांस्कृतिक संबंध परिषद म्हणजे इंडियन काउन्सिल फॉर कल्चरल रिलेशन्सचे महानिदेशक ॲम्बॅसेडर कुमार तुहीन, उपस्थितांमधले अनेक मान्यवर, डॉक्टर करमाळकर, डॉक्टर मुकुंद तापकीर, क्षमाताई भाटे मला दिसत आहेत, बाकी बरेच जण मान्यवर पुणेकर इथे आहेत. सगळ्यांचं मी सुरुवातीलाच हार्दिक स्वागत करतो. तसा हा कार्यक्रम एक इंटरनॅशनल ओरेशनचा आहे आणि त्यामुळे मी मुख्य भाषण इंग्रजीतून करीन, कारण हे आंतरराष्ट्रीय स्तरावर फेसबुक लाईव्हच्या माध्यमातून जगात सगळीकडे पोचतं आहे. परंतु जसं पंतप्रधान नरेंद्र मोदी सांगतात त्याप्रमाणे आपण फ्रॉम लोकल टू ग्लोबल जायला पाहिजे आणि त्यामुळे पुण्यामध्ये भाषणाची सुरुवात ही नक्कीच मराठीतून व्हायला हवी. त्यामुळे मी सुरुवातीलाच आपल्याशी मराठीतून संवाद साधला आहे. आपलं सगळ्यांचं मी या कार्यक्रमात हार्दिक स्वागत करतो. सुरुवातीलाच सिम्बॉयसिसला खूप मनापासून धन्यवाद देतो आणि डॉक्टर सोनल मानसिंग या ठिकाणी आल्या आणि आमच्या निमंत्रणाला त्यांनी मान दिला, त्याबद्दल त्यांचेही आभार मानतो. सोनल मानसिंग यांचा परिचय, या व्याख्यानाची पार्श्वभूमी आणि विषयाच्या संबंधात थोडं असे काही मुद्दे मांडून मी माझं बोलणं पूर्ण करीन. ॲज वी नो, डॉक्टर सोनल मानसिंग is the iconic cultural personality of India and a member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha. I had the privilege of working with her in the Rajya Sabha for almost 4 years. Dr. Mansingh has been a unique she has been a unique among the dancers who has mastered multiple Indian classical dance forms from different parts of India like Bharatanatyam, Odissi and Chau. She is a great scholar and seasoned art administrator who has performed, given lectures and conducted workshops in 90 countries around the world. As the founder president of, more importantly, she is the founder president of Center for Indian Classical Dances, and this was established in 1977. She has trained in her capacity several talented performers who are carrying the message of Indian culture all over the world. She is the recipient of the high civilian honors of Padma Bhushan in 1992 and Padma Vibhushan in 2003 from the President of India. A much and adequately and rightly decorated personality, she has been honored with Sangeet Natak Academy Ratna, Fellow of Sangeet Natak Academy, and she is also nominated as one of the Navaratnas for Swachh Bharat mission by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. She has served as chairperson of the National Sangeet Natak Academy and serving second term as trustee of the Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts. Coming to the oration, let me tell you that it was in 2018 that we instituted this oration in the memory of Pandit DEENDAYAL UPADHYAY, a philosopher, politician, and a thought giver for generations together. And Deendayal Upadhyay always used to say that the civilizational journey is from the past through the present to the future. But then we have to be conscious about this and to involve people in a way to make them participate, make them understand various facets of Indian culture. Because as I say, if you take out culture from the idea of India, precious little remains. And therefore India is synonymous with culture. But we ourselves need to know about the cultural traditions we have, the treasure what we call as soft power, Saumya Sampada, Marathi Madhe. So all facets of this soft power, first of all, requires to we loudly and clearly in the entire global community as to what is not just about it is also about philosophy, our worldview. And therefore, in 2019, we decided to institute this oration to celebrate in our own way the World Culture Day, which happens to be today. The first oration was delivered by late Srimati Sushma Swaraj, and she spoke on soft power diplomacy, strength of India. The second lecture in 2019 was delivered by former Supreme Court Chief Justice, Justice Ramesh Chandra Lahoti, a Sanskrit scholar, and he spoke on Sanskrit, an instrument of the promotion of India's soft power. Third and fourth lectures, due to COVID-19, we had to conduct in a webinar format. But the third lecture, third oration, came from an Italy-based Ayurveda Acharya, Dr. Antonio Morandi, who spoke on Ayurveda and its relevance in the time of COVID. The fourth oration, 2021, was delivered by a very renowned food scientist kind of, Dr. Colleen Taylor Sane. She is in Chicago, and she has written a number of books. One of them is Feast and Fast, about Indian culinary and cuisine traditions, and she spoke on insights into India's culinary traditions. The fifth oration last year was delivered by Srimati Jaya Jetli on craft traditions as India's soft power, and today we have amongst us Dr. Sonal Mansingh to speak on Indian dance traditions as soft power. Dr. Mansingh is going to tell us about how dance traditions form a significant part of our soft power, so I need not dwell elaborately on that. But simply to tell you, Indian classical dance represents the longest unbroken dance tradition going back to more than 2 millennia. By contrast, the Bugaku of Japan boasts an antiquity of some 1200 years. Chinese classical dance is said to be older than that of Japan, that it derives partly from wushu or martial arts, but suffered a significant break during the Cultural Revolution. The Korean dance as well fell victim to cultural suppression. Western ballet is of relatively recent origin. It goes back to 16th century, just about 400 years, but matured much later. And let me tell you that nowhere was classical dance codified as early to such a systematic extent as we have in India. While other cultures, Asian, Middle Eastern, African, and Western, also celebrated life through drama, dance, and music, codification of these performing arts into treatise did not occur. The earliest work on Western dances is some 1589 CE, whereas the Natya Shastra, on the other hand, predates the Christian era, as we all know. In the Western tradition, friends, the dance bears the stamp of choreographer. Indian dance teachers, far from creating their own style, seek to preserve the existing forms and hand them over without any adulteration to the new generation. And that is the important contribution of Indian masters of our dance traditions. The philosophical underpinnings of Western and Eastern dance forms are different. In the West, they primarily constitute a source of entertainment. However, moving and emotionally uplifting they might be. As against this, Indian dance, on the other hand, is regarded as a pathway to spirituality. That makes our traditions stand apart. And in order to keep the authenticity of our dance traditions intact, I am happy to mention over here that the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, under the guidance of Dr. Mansingh and several others, has decided to explore the possibility of adopting a role of an accrediting agency. Because today many from India and abroad also are trying to teach Indian dance traditions online and offline to many. And there are several thousands of takers. But they don't know whether whatever the teacher is telling is authentic or not. Because chances are that these traditions get adulterated because of several pressures or because of trying to be a little more market friendly than required. So to ensure that this doesn't happen and the purity and authenticity remains intact, we are seriously considering whether we can adopt that rule. I am sure in several such initiatives we would be continuing to get the guidance and support from people like Dr. Sonal Mansingh. I am really happy for this association with Symbiosis. In fact, ICCR has been working with Symbiosis for several years together, and today one more event is happening here with the support of Symbiosis, Dr. Muzumdar and Vidyatai and all others. Once again, I extend a very warm welcome to you all and wish you a very happy Culture Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinay sir, for introducing us to our guest of honor, for telling us about this oration series, for telling us about, introducing about how dance can be a form of soft power, and also telling us about the aspirations of ICCR. May I now call upon our founder and president, Symbiosis, and Chancellor, Symbiosis International Deemed University, Dr. S.B. Muzumdar, to please address our gathering.
वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा. Namaskar to all of you. Dr. Vinay Sahasrabudhe, Ambassador Twin, Dr. Vidya, Dr. Gupte, and most importantly, Dr. Sonal Mansingh. When I saw her today evening, I remember good old days, many, many years ago, madam. You performed Odissi dance right on this stage. And I was wondering how you have kept your charm and youthfulness for so many years. Wonderful, and congratulations. Perhaps this is because your devotion to dance, Odisha, and art form. Friends, today is a World Culture Day. And therefore, Dr. Mansingh is going to speak on dance as soft power for our country. And to listen to her speeches, we have many, many important personalities in the audience. Kalamkar is there, Tapkir is there, and many other educationists, including my friend from the famous institute. ICCR, Indian Council for Cultural Relations, and Symbiosis have some unexplained cordial relationship. It was 1971 that I was appointed foreign student advisor of Pune University. Kalamkarji, I do not know whether still that post exists in Pune University, but it was a very good post, because Pune is the favored destination of international students. And then I became the member of the general body of ICCR. I was followed by Dr. Vidya, who became not only the member of general body, but also the member of managing committee of ICCR. Be that as it may, personally I feel that Indian Council for Cultural Relations plays a very, very big role in making Indian culture a soft power. Not only dance, not only music, but the culture itself. And therefore it achieves great importance, not only spiritually or culturally, but even diplomatically. And therefore I am very happy that World Culture Day is celebrated all over the world. Symbiosis International University, I am not going to tell you about how Symbiosis was started and all that. Vidya has already told you. But my point is, culture plays a big role, not only in the life of a country, not only in the life of an individual, but in the whole universe. And therefore we call it universal culture. ICCR therefore has a big role to play. And I am glad that Dr. Sahasrabudhe, you are under your dynamic leadership, many, many innovative things are going to take place. As far as the universities are concerned, National Education Policy 2020 has suggested that we should incorporate Indian knowledge systems in our curriculum. How to do it? And here we have Dr. Karmalkar, who is in charge of implementation of National Education Policy. And Dr. Karmalkar, I thought that can dance be incorporated in our curriculum? And so I asked her, can there be a short course, a certificate course in dance, Odisha, or any other form of dance under the guidance and recognition of Center for Indian Dances? And I must tell you very, very happily that she has agreed to do that. And if that happens, Symbiosis International University will be the first university to start a certificate course in Indian classical dance. With these few words, I once again welcome Dr. Mansingh. I thank Dr. Vinay Sahasrabudhe to give us an opportunity to celebrate World Culture Day. And I must tell you that even though it is hot Sunday, I was wondering how many people will be there in the audience. But I was aghast when I saw many, many people, especially youngsters, to listen to you. Because what you say will go a long way in making dance a powerful soft power. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Muzumdar, sir. Respected Dr. Sonal Mansingh, many of us have watched your legendary talent on screen. Some of us perhaps may have seen you live perform on the stage. But as Dr. Muzumdar said, we are all here eagerly looking forward to listening to you in person. I was watching your eyes as you looked around the hall after lighting the lamp. They are so expressive. We are lucky to have you in person and be touched by all of your talent and your sensitivity, your courage, your beliefs. So I invite you, ma'am, you are going to be speaking on Indian dance traditions as a soft power. I invite you to please take over.
Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. I offer salutations to Devi Saraswati, goddess of knowledge, arts and wisdom, and to the parampara of gurus, masters, down the millennia, who perceived, preserved, and disseminated knowledge. It is a matter of great pride and pleasure for me to be here at the invitation of Dr. Vinay Sahasrabudhe, President, Indian Council for Cultural Relations, and Sri Kumar Tuhinji, Director General, ICCR. I really thank you for this opportunity to share my thoughts on an interesting but neglected topic: Indian dance tradition as soft power. Today, on this World Culture Day, I offer my namaskars and greetings to the renowned Symbiosis University founder, revered Professor Dr. Majumdarji, and to the Vice Chancellor, right, Vidyaji? Or Pro-Chancellor? Pro-Chancellor, sorry. And to Srimati Vidya Yeravdekar and Srimati Rajni Gupta ji. To my biradari of dancers who are here, my dear friend from Bombay, Sucheta, Bhide Chapekar, and Srimati Shama Bhate ji, and all other rasikas of the city of Pune. As I said, that this is a World Culture Day. Chalo, at least one day is dedicated to thinking about culture. If not, as if all other 364 days we are not indulging in some activity which may be connected to culture. In a country like India, I think in our daily lives, we are somewhere or other amalgamating cultural concepts, beliefs, norms, ideas, ideals, values in our action, reactions. But then the word culture, simply put, culture is refinement, according to my thinking. There are so many other contexts, meanings, nuances. But like when स्वर्ण को अग्नि परीक्षा में गुजरना पड़ता है, when gold is heated, it has to pass through Agni Pariksha, the test of fire, then it comes out, nikharta hai, it becomes kundan. That is culturing gold. So to culture something is to bring refinement, refinement is always towards a higher goal. It's like climbing a staircase, and that refinement, without that life, remains gross, only at a gross level. This culture that we talk about today, we will talk about, it enriches us, enables us to continue the yatra for a life well lived. I think journey is what we undertake normally. Going from home to office is also a journey. When does it become yatra, pilgrimage? What's the difference? And here is the difference where you undertake a journey with a set goal, a higher goal, than your normal, everyday coming and going in life and doings and actions, reactions, your karma, your what you are doing. हम कहते हैं जीवन यात्रा. जीवन यात्रा कैसे जीना चाहिए? We are not saying यहाँ जाना, वहाँ जाना. So pilgrimage is the key word for me. And for me, the dance of India really sums up somewhere this pilgrimage that we undertake as sadhakas. I was also thinking that how does one become a dancer? Let's go to the root. Nartayati, nrityati. One doesn't become a dancer. One remains a seeker. One may become a performer after decades of tapasya, of sadhana, of learning, of imbibing. One day, when only the dance remains and the dancer disappears, that day, you become the dancer. You are the dancer. So, at every level, the worldly level, and with refinement at the higher levels, that yatra continues through life. I'll come to the main object, the topic, taking you through my yatra. So then, like with every pilgrimage, we carry some anticipation, expectation, hope, imagining some kind of fulfillment. So cultural yatra, with the traditions of performing arts, especially dance. Nritya is one such yatra that brings sukha, ananda, and atmabodha. Sukha, not in the way Buddha says sukha, dukkha, there is no sukha, life is full of dukkha. We are not going to there, that idea. Su agatam swagatam. Su, actually, just that. It has to be so, at that moment. That is su. Kha, space, come, space. Therefore, that fraction of a moment when it is just right, that is sukha. And ananda, which is the final underpinning of Indian philosophical thought, permeating every art form, sculpture, music, dance, everything. Ananda. It's like the depth of the deepest ocean. No ruffle. Sukha, dukkha in the laukika word, every day, the worldly language. They are like taranga, you know. They rise up and they subside. Ananda in the deepest level of the being. And therefore, among the panchakoshas, the annamaya kosha, the sharira, and the pranamaya kosha, and the jnanamaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha, and final, the deepest of your subtle body, anandamaya kosha. Now, sukha, ananda, and the third word that occurred to me is atmabodha. We will come to that, as I said later, how these words apply and where they come from to me personally. What is the purpose of my being? Why? Where? What? Atmabodha. It's a very, very big concept, and yet it's applicable to every individual, there may be different ways, different paths. And as we say in yoga, the Bhakti Yoga, Sahaja Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, all kinds of yogas are there. Now today there's breakfast yoga in America also. Yeah. But the path that one chose, I didn't choose, dance chose me, let's say. The path that was given to me in this life was Nritya Yoga, through Nritya. And that has taken me forward, giving me this Sukha, Ananda, and Atma Bodha. It is still, the yatra is going on. Maybe in next 7 births, if I'm lucky enough to be born in India, in this soil, ye mitti, तो शायद कहीं आत्मबोध वास्तव में होगा, लेकिन नृत्य जो है वो इतना सरल, सहज, सशक्त, सार्थक मार्ग है. I will tell you how. So, what is tradition? We talked of tradition also. So there was culture, then what it gives you, and what is parampara. Now, in English, we say tradition. But parampara and rudhi are 2 different words. Rudhi is tied, is fixed to one point. Orthodoxy, let's say, roughly translated. Parampara, param, aparam, param, aparam, param, aparam, that which moves constantly forward, that which is constantly mobile and goes on. Tradition, but parampara. And I have learnt myself in the Guru Shishya Parampara. So I was just telling Dr. Majumdar, I never got any certificate, any degree, any gold medal from anywhere. Koi inam nahi mila. All I got were the sticks on my elbow, the elbow bone, and on my knees. And that's why even today, I've just entered 80th year of my life, I can still do. That is parampara. That when, before my Arangetram in Bangalore in 1961, hot May afternoon, my Guruji, Professor U.S. Krishna Rao sir, the last few rehearsals, the long 35-40-minute Varnam, Manavi Chaikunna, Suchita will remember, Shankarabharanam, Aditala, the Naika, the heroine, pining for Shiva, yearning, drowning in the ocean of separation from him. And at one point, I thought he was going to hit me. He says, Bhava, Bhava, Sonal, Abhinaya. I was in tears. I was trying, but the muscles have to move, no? I was 17. I had no idea of love and boyfriends then. Today, a 9-year-old will tell you. So at that point, a little bell, and he went to the window and said, Sonia, come here. Pointed the tatakali, the stick with which you beat out. I went there. What's that? I said, sir, monkeys are dancing. You know, in those years, on a bicycle, the Madari would come, dug, 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 and a little monkey couple with ghungroos. And then he said, show me the difference between monkey and you. Imagine, till today, it is here, it is here. So what is the difference? Movements? Yes. Laya vinyas, pada vinyas, chanda vinyas, everything, yes. As I said, when does it become dance? And that my Guruji, in one sentence, told me, show me the difference between monkey and you. That is the power of teaching, which remains with you all your life, and perhaps, if you are lucky, in the next life too. So why are people afraid of embarrassed to say parampara. These days also there are contemporary dancing and boboing and b-boying and whatever hip-hopping and all. They say, kya hai ye tradition is very bad, cave. Because they have to be told, they do not understand the word. And as they said, new education policy has to begin from the beginning of going to the etymology of our words and what they really mean, which are good and effective and meaningful for every century, century after century. The paramparas have to go on. And already I had a quotation from Dr. Vinay Sarasabudheji, but he's already talked about it, so I'm not going to repeat it. I brought a quotation from you. That's how important what you say. Natya Shastra, which he mentioned, we don't, 2 centuries here or there don't really matter. After all, time is always moving. So Bharata Muni, who compiled this compendium called Natya Shastra, Natya, which has Gita, Vadya, Sangeeta, Nritya, theatre, dance, music, everything. Amazing compendium like no other in the world. And let's not make a mistake. It's not about what we call classical dance today, Shastriya. Margi and Desi. That which is followed by few, Marga and Desi, which is done by many, which you roughly then it becomes folk dance and tribal dance and classical dance. Simply put, it is Shastriya Nritya which adheres to the Natya Shastra. But Natya Shastra also tells you, and so many other Natyacharyas have told us, Desha Kalanusari. You must follow what is happening in your time. You must follow where you are and keep a balance between the two. How beautiful that is. You have to work your intellect, your intelligence. It is not a rudhi that you are tied down. It's just like a pathway with boards, showing you this. You may go here, you may go here. But don't leave the main path. That's the only thing that they ask for. Now, natat shilpam natat jnanam nasa vidyana sakala na so yogo natat karma natyasmin yanna vidyate. There is nothing that is not in Natya Shastra. There is everything. For example, all knowledge of arts, experiences, emotions, moods, yoga, actions, comprehension of life in short. It's all there. And for me, dance is all-inclusive, the art of dance, which is dance, dance drama, dance theatre, dance experience, etc. In short, total experience of life. But then also, they mention, which is so true, that dance is a very visual art. The first impression, as the dancer comes, you see, it's visual. It's a chakshusha yagya. So, there is entertainment. There is education, and there is enlightenment. As we spoke about the upward path, the journey, the yatra, the pilgrimage. Therefore, dance gives you all this, not only to the sadhaka, the seeker, the performer, but also to the audience. I would like to take you to your own body. How is dance performed? By speech only or through the body? Obviously, body is the instrument, the madhyam. So, you tune the body like an instrument, they say. I have a little story for you, which I've also choreographed and performed. Appadipo Bhava, the Buddhist. When Buddha was not Buddha yet, he was Siddhartha Gautama. Deep penance. He had given up eating, drinking, he had become kankal, skeletal. He was seated under the peepal tree by the river Niranjana. There comes a group from one town to another, the main dancer, her maids, and other people to cook, to carry the palanquin and all. And she says, let's rest here for a while. It's a beautiful landscape. There's Niranjana river, so they settle there for a while. And she tells her maid, bring me the veena. I feel like playing music. And the veena is brought, and she says, tune it. So the chief maid is tuning it. She tuned it very tight, and the main tar snapped. Cut. And she said, I'm sorry. She said, okay, come on. Put another one. And she left it so loose out of the fear that it may not snap again, that it produced no sound at all. So she said, bring it to me. And she tuned it properly, and she just played one little swara, note, and then she said, see, this is like in life. Ati sarvatra varjayet. Exaggeration of any kind has to be eschewed. Put the too tight, it snapped. Too loose doesn't produce music. So Buddha heard this, Siddhartha Gautama heard this, and he found his Madhyama path, the Madhyama Marg of Buddhism. And then soon after this, Sujata came and offered him, thinking he's the Vanadevata, the bowl of kheer, payasam, and that was his first meal after listening to that Nartaki. So my dear friends, dancers can also be gurus. Okay, not only for dance, but for life. You agree? You better do, because Buddha had to listen to that and he became Buddha. So body we treat as temple, sharir ek mandir. And therefore we have this proverb, shariram adya khalu dharma sadhanam. Dharma not as in religion, that is not religion anyway. But dharma is what you are made for, what you do, what is good for you, your swadharma, your vocation, your profession. So this is the first sadhan by which you can do anything. If there is no body for you, you are just a spirit, you are a ghost. So sharira adya khalu dharma sadhanam. And for this, what do? We train it in many different ways. Now the training of an athlete, an acrobat, and a cricketer is all very different. Here, the body is treated from top to toe in every minutest detail, because there are the main limbs, sharir ke anga, torso till torso and neck up, and then torso down, and the arms, and then the upanga, like the fingers, the toes, eyes, eyebrows, etc. As the lady said that I entered and the eyes, yeah, we train the eyes. We have to move the eyes in a way that, yeah, we have to move our eyebrows. Yeah. If I don't need to speak, I can just do that. And the person would shiver. Or I would just do, or, Henna. So, the dancer, Indian dancer, has to use from top to toe every major and minor limb. For that, I have this Anga Bhanga, the four major ones, as I stand straight, like this is Samabhanga, balanced. Equipose on both the legs, both feet. Abhanga. Samabhanga, you often see Buddha only standing. Poor guy, he has no grace. Then Abhanga. On one side, Sri Rama standing. Krishna. Tribhanga. The three bend posture. The Griva, the Kati, and the Janu. the neck, the waist, and the knee. And you see this form. Beautiful, Tribhanga. And Odissi, of course, uses Tribhanga as one of the main postures, and in that, and Atibhanga. You are just in a fantastic mood. Your arms go here, there. 4 bhangas. What you call the body language now these days. Then let's come to the Hasta Mudras. Indians, of course, use them, Italian, Spanish, where the sun shines bright, you will notice that they gesticulate a lot. Others just sit like that. And you have to tell the students, open up, open up. But today, I'm afraid to say, sorry to say rather, that even the Indian, the youth, they may do all that. That's different. But in everyday life, they're not opening up because they are hunched over their laptops, their computers, their mobiles, their thumbs are working. Some of my new students cannot have this finger straight. It's always bent like that. Can you see? Because of you're only using tips of your fingers. They don't realize that here are the Pancha Tattva, the 5 elements are here. Be careful. Open up, shoulders, chest, your posture, Brahmadanda, your spine straight, your chin up, stomach in. The way you stand, that should say so much about you rather than you understand what I'm saying? And so the Hasta Mudras that we know, like Pataka and Suchi, and there are so many, somewhere 32, somewhere 24, somewhere 28, single hand, double hand. Kathakali has 500 hand gestures. They can just sit and narrate the whole Ramayana. So can we who have learned the Shastriya Nritya with all these elements. How important it is to train your body right from where the arms begin, right to the tips of the fingers, right from the waist down to the toes, right up, and the neck is like it's called the Kamalanal, the stem of the lotus, because the face is the lotus, on which the lotus petal eyes and the lotus-like lips are there. I mean, Indian mind has the subtlest of images taken from Prakriti, from nature. The arm, Dola Hasta, is supposed to be like half-severed branch of a tree, or like the elephant trunk. Now today, people don't even notice. I asked, Tuhinji was present. I asked the person he was serving a soup, a Maharashtrian young man, beautiful rain tree, and then the Gulmohar. I said, "Te kai the now atronai ka? Mahit hai?" Nai. Hey, nai. So we don't observe, we don't see. We have severed all our relation with nature. It's right there. And in dance, we learn about Pashu, Pakshi, beasts, animals, birds, insects, butterflies, flowers, creepers, shrubs, trees, branches, leaves, mitti, the earth. We do first our Bhumi Pranam. We bow to the Mother Earth, seeking her forgiveness, apologizing that, please forgive me, Mother, I'm now going to stamp on you, dance on your chest. What kind of a concept is that? Fantastic. As babies, we've all danced on our mother's chest. We pulled her hair. Never remember mother hitting a baby. But this mother, who upholds us, Prithvi Mata, Vasundhara, Vasudha, Dharani, Dharitri, do we ever say sorry we think about it? Only the Indian dancer thinks about it. So, the Hastamudras and the Angika, now the 4 Abhinayas. Angika, as I said, everything that is done with the body. Vachika, your words, tone, tenor, words that you use, and singing. The Sapta Swaras are there. They are also given like the peacock. The peacock's call is the Shadja, for example, and the Nishada is the Hasti. Pancham is the Kokila. Dhaivat is the Manduka. Like that. So, music is an integral part of Indian dance because the Swara and Laya go together. That completes the thing that we call the dance art. I would like to now tell you about the Ashtarasa, because life has to be full of rasa. A nearest life is not acceptable. We should not accept it. Even I say God does not accept nearest bhakti. You know? Oh, don't do that, huh? Ram, 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 ram. Where nearest. Sarasa bhakti with rasa. So life has to be sarasa. And this abhinaya, rasabhinaya, we say Ashtarasa, Bharata Muni said, Shringara, Karuna, Veer, Raudra, Hasya, Adbhuta, Bhayanaka, Bibhatsa, Ashtarasa. No Shanta, Shanta is no rasa, because if Shant there is Shanti, there is no rasa. Rasa is like a flowing river. It permeates you. And with all this, we then form and learn how to dance, how to put our feet together. I want my, what do you call that? Yeah, Nataraj is there. Oh, it's there, okay. Nataraj is there. And I need not tell you much about it because Nataraj, we say, is the king of dancers. I don't see any Kaviraj, Vaidyaraj, Geetaraj, Netaraj, but only Nataraj. Shiva is Nataraj. Yes, we have to accept that. And then there is the next. Ashtadash Bhuja, 18 armed Nataraj from Elephanta. Why 18? 9 and 9, undivisible number. And therefore, undivisible, akshunna, and holding different kind of weapons, astra, shastra, and of course his damaru. I could not get the beautiful one image I had of Nateshwari, because without Shakti, Nataraj cannot dance. You know that. You need Shakti for everything. Shakti moves the universe and the creation. Therefore, it's always Shiva-Shakti combination, Purusha-Prakriti combination. We dancers are half feminine, half male here. I can do Tandava with as much ease as the Lasyanga. And this, I think, is very, very important in life, where to use Tandava at home or outside, and where to use Lasya so the person melts and gives you whatever you want. That's so important. Tandava and Lasya. It's not only in dance, it is in our lives every single day. So, then, Ardhanarishwara, as I said, here the left half female, Parvati, Devi, Shakti, the right half Shiva. We have to balance it equally, and therefore sadhaka has to show the movements perfectly on both sides. Ye nahi ho sakta ki right side is more important. I do every movement perfectly there and not on the left side. Namaskar, next. Yeah, namaskar. I give example of our Prime Minister Modi ji, how beautifully he does namaskar and he bows low. So namaskar brings your Shiva Shakti together, left half, right half, in a beautiful circle of energy. And it completely conjoins the palm up, wrist up. All the Panchatattvas are pressed. The reflexology, what you call it, is all there. But on top of it, if we do not bow our head, namaskara is incomplete. Why? Because the head is the seat of intellect as well as arrogance. We have to surrender our ego if we are greeting somebody, offering respect. And I think this, again, is not unique to India alone. You see it in Japan, you see it in old China, you see it in Southeast Asia, you see it in Latin America. Wherever there have been civilizations, you will see namaste. Namahate, I bow to that spark, Chetana, in you. Next, I said, okay, that will come. Yeah, go on. That's Bharatanatyam. I'm showing you now the 8 major dance styles of today. Bharatanatyam, which is very, very geometrical, very beautiful. Next, Odissi, Tribhanga. Slow, slow, hello. Slow. Tribhanga, Odissi. Yes, next. Kathak, which has had a lot of influence of the Mughals. The costume is also Mughal. Next. Manipuri, from the state of Manipur. Vaishnavite influence. Next. Kuchipudi, which is basically dance theatre from Andhra, now Andhra, Telangana both. Then, next. Mohiniyattam from Kerala. Mohini, the woman who bewitches. And Mohini, Vishnu took Mohini avatar twice. If you don't know the stories, you must get the legends. They are very, very interesting. That how you must change yourself and offer yourself according to the situation's demands to succeed. You cannot stand akhada and say, no, nothing will happen. You have to accommodate, adapt. And that is what I think Mohini teaches us. From Kerala, only women dance that, of course. Next. Kathakali, again from Kerala, dance theatre. Something that has gone right up to Japan through Southeast Asia. The No and the Kabuki have very close connections. Next. Satriya from Assam just came into recognition about, say, 20 years ago. And Satra is monastery of the Vaishnavite monks. Now even the girls dance, as you can see. So these are the 8 major dance styles, the Shastriya, what we call, of today. Okay. Now what's, soft power? I come to that very quickly. So what is power, first of all? What is power? So is it to control, to mold, to enforce certain ideas with the power of money, the power of position, the power of intellect, talent, imagination? What? It's all that and much more. Power misused can play havoc. Power used with intelligence and with goodness in heart, for the common good of all, can do wonders. And that is the soft power we are talking about. Why soft? Not soft, pill, 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 no. I think it is strong. That which bends like the grass is stronger than a tree that falls with the first storm. Why soft? It slowly creeps in. It pursues and persuades. It permeates your mind and your thoughts. It brings you to a point where you begin to see for yourself how it has gone, conveyed. Let me give you an example. In 1997, I was on a long ICCR tour of 12 Central and South America countries, Latin American countries, 12 countries. In Argentina, the tip of Latin America, which is all Catholic Christians, there is not a single local indigenous tribe left. And I was dancing all my life. I'm a soloist. I'm a Ekaharya Lasyanga. solo dancer with musicians, Bharatanatyam, Odissi. I finished the program with a poem by Vallathol Narayana Menon, Magdalena Mariam, Mary Magdalene, from the Bible. I still think that had he been translated by somebody like Y.B. Yeats, who translated Tagore, Vallathol Narayana Menon also may have got the Nobel Prize for Literature. So wonderful. And this, that she, the beautiful lady of the city of Magdalene, decorated herself as usual in the evening. Then she hears the sounds and she runs to the window and she sees a huge procession and she sees one at the head of the procession. Her eyes, her glance goes with him. And then something happens to her and she just drops all her accoutrement, refinements, her jewelry, and picks up a jar of perfume and runs after the procession to the house of Simon, knocks at the door opens. Everyone is amazed that why is she here? Should she be allowed entry? She only sees him, runs and falls at his feet. Next. Yes. This is some of the pictures I got. Videos were not there then, 1997. Yes, next. Looking at the procession, next. What happened to me, next. Shall I go, not go, next. Will you not allow me entry, she says. And she falls at his feet, next. And then, next. Will you not bless me? Christ, Jesus Christ. Now, why I have shown you this? After the encores were over, and I went to my room, our ambassador was waiting, there were a few dignitaries, and the chief of the Catholic Church of Buenos Aires, he fell at my feet. I still remember that. The people who were there, they remember. He fell at my feet, took my hand and kissed my ring. He looked up and asked in Spanish, "Are you Christian?" in Spanish. I said, "No." Then how? I saw Christ. And I raised him up, and there was a translator from our embassy. I said, because Christ for me is like Krishna, Magdalena Mariam is my Mira. Next, so I've just performed Mira, my new Natya Katha, on 6th of May at Kamani in Delhi. There. Yes, next. 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 Dwarkadhish. It is said that she, Samagai, she was absorbed by the idol of Dwarkadhish in Dwarka, in Gujarat, and only the garland that she was carrying was found. Okay. So this is the soft power that we are talking about, that how something done with Shraddha, with conviction, with belief, with love, can permeate, persuade, and reach out to people who do not know your language, who do not know dance, your dance, kind of our kind of dance, who know nothing. There was a sombrero in Mexico, Festival Cervantino. Itna bada hat pen ke garlic in their sweat. And they were saying, "Hey, what's that?" and all. They saw Magdalena Mariam, they queued up to fall on their knees and kiss. Doesn't matter. So my one submission here is, suggestion rather, that even the artists, as I said earlier, Desha Kala Anusari, we have to reach out. We stick to our tradition, to the core. We do not deviate and do Bollywood dancing. We do not do hip hop. We do not care about the market economy of today. Everything is on sale. But our soul is not for sale. Our spirit, our Samskriti is not for sale. We have to devise ways to reach out. How did I do that? Wahida Rahman was sitting as my chief guest in 2019 at Kamani, my Kala Yatra. And I showed her what I had done, Sabras Sabrang. सैया बेईमान मुझसे छल किए जाए हाय रे हाय या ही माधव या ही केशव मावद कैतव वादम ताम अनुसर सरसीरुहलोचन या तव हरति विषादम सैया बेईमान. From Gita Govind Ashtapadi to Sanya Beiman, they say the same thing. But that is up to me to find out and offer it. That everything has rasa. Everything has a story to tell. Why don't we look at it from that angle? Shurpanakha mukhe hasyam, yaka chatura nara karake singar. मेरे घर के द्वार में घुसत जात हम हंसत जात. जाओ लक्ष्मण के पास जाओ. Huh? Okay. So, from older times, the dancers and musicians formed part of a king's ransom. You know that. Chanakya's Arthashastra says that. And even before Chanakya, that the kings and the chieftains, the nayakas, to win favors or to forge friendship, used to send jewelry, this, that, and other things, but also dancers and musicians. Another thing, in the Lichavi Janapadas, which Modi ji has often referred to, the first republic units in the world, when we talk of democracy. In the Lichavi Janapadas, the Gananayaka, the chief of the Janapada, the Rajguru and the Rajanartaki, all three had the Raja Chhatra over them, the royal umbrella. That was the respect given to the dancer, who was also a musician, was also a teacher, and whose advice was also sought. So I think things have become very different. But I remember Vinayji going to Afghanistan in 1969 and to Iran in 1974 in cultural delegation with the Prime Minister. It's I think, time that our Prime Minister, along with all the economists and scientists and industrialists and business people, starts taking artists also. Soft power will do much good. I hope he hears this. That's up to you. Okay, so I come now. हो गया time हो गया कि है? थोड़ा time है? 5 हाँ 5 minute ठीक है. Okay, 5 minute. Magdalena Mariam होगा. Yeah, I want to now show you next. Yeah, that's me in Khajuraho writing the Natya Shastra, my Natya Shastra. Next. Nritya Yoga, as I said, this was on last year's Yoga Parva. My students, look at this. Next. And next. Next. Yes, next. This is Sarpasana. Next. Bhujangasana. Next. Full Nagasana, Cobra. Next. Mayurasana. Next. My God. He was doing the headstand, Anmol. But look at the beauty of the form. Next. Our Tandava postures. Next. Yeah, again Tandava postures. Karanas. Next. Students learning yoga. Next. So next month on 21st June, we'll be celebrating International Yoga Day. I think it's time that Nritya Yoga is also added to the long list of various yogas. This is dynamic yoga. The next is static yoga. Nritya is dynamic yoga, which is also very, very important. It has to be balanced with the static. And in the end, I would say that, what shall I say? Yeah, I have folk dances for you. Our film industry too has picked up dance, now called Bollywood dances. They are pure entertainment, which is wonderful. But, so sometimes with moments which could seem, let's say, avoidable moments occur. Avoidable movements also occur. One doesn't wish to compare or contrast. I have examples from my own repertory, which I have given you a little examples of. And in the end, dance, music, sculpture, architecture, Puranic and epic stories carry the message of Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. This is our sutra, which is Shashvat, which is perennial, which is eternal, is Satya. And the Satya of our dances, of our fine arts, our performing arts, of the dance art, is Shiva, auspicious, and is Sundar, is beautiful. And this has gone up to next, gone all the way. Acha, skip this, go quickly over this, go quickly. Yeah, various folk dances from India, some jhalak. Next, there are some instruments which are used. Yeah, bihu and all. Ha, chaliye, damru, the avanagha, the tabla and mridang and all, then manjira, yeah, then the tat, yeah, veena. Chaliye, santoor and all, shatatantri. Then flute, Krishnas, yeah, next, chaliye. And the group of folk musicians playing. Next, yeah, Vietnam, Shiva Mandir in South Vietnam. So our culture, our traditions permeated all through Southeast Asia. And next, me there, thanks to ICCR, we were there in November, December. And the last, yes, next. This is Konark, the Mukhya Dwar of Konark. And there's little me somewhere. This is to say the parampara, the jnana, the vidya is majestic, it's huge, is unending, shashvat, akshunna, aseem. And we are only little links in that, carrying messages forward. I rest my case, if there is a case to be made about dance, Indian dance as soft power. I had once offer from Vasant Sathe, 1975, newly elected member of parliament from Congress party in Indira Gandhi's time from Nagpur. And he said, Amala dance sikwa. And he was ready to have a workshop for members of parliament. Today, there are 3 members who come to me to learn. And I say to them, you are all dancing anyway, as Vinayji has also seen, and he's also danced. No. Kya? All these are hastamudras. And the passion, the abhinaya. Huh? So I wish you all lot of wonderful, beautiful moments in life. Kalyan ho, sarvesham swastir bhavatu, sarvesham shantir bhavatu, sarvesham purnam bhavatu, sarvesham mangalam bhavatu, loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
I can only say thank you, ma'am, for sharing your beautiful yatra with us. We can only imagine the amount of love and passion and discipline and sacrifice which has reached you to this level of accomplishment. Listening to you was an absolute honor, pleasure, and for that I thank ICCR and SIU. May I now call upon Director General ICCR Ambassador Kumar Tuhin to propose the vote of thanks.
President of ICCR, Dr. Vinay Sahasrabudhe, Member of Parliament and distinguished speaker for today, Dr. Sonal Mansingh ji, Chancellor of SIU, Professor Mazumdar, Pro-Chancellor Dr. Vidya Iravadekar, Vice Chancellor Rajni Gupte, Directors, Deans of different departments, senior faculty members of SIU, students, friends, ladies and gentlemen. As we come to the almost end of the event today, which was the 6th Pandit Deendayal Upadhyay Memorial International Oration, I have this present task to propose vote of thanks, and I begin by thanking everyone. But at the beginning, of course, to our distinguished speaker for today, Dr. Sonal Mansingh ji, for her fantastic address to us today. As we mentioned, this was the 6th international oration and 6th in a series of very, very eminent speakers, beginning, of course, with our former External Affairs Minister, Sushma Swaraj ji, in 2018, and subsequently, as our President mentioned, we had former Chief Justice of India, Justice Lahore, we had Ayurveda experts from Italy, Antonio Morandi. We had a culinary expert, Colleen Taylor-Sane, and of course on art and craft by Jia Jetli ji last year. The topic for today's, which was Indian dance traditions and soft power, it was very, very pertinent and very, very relevant. Our President, Dr. Sahasrabudhe, in his address, he mentioned to us about Pandit Deendayal Upadhyay. He telling us that how we should draw from the past, but also move towards the future, moving through the present. And I am reminded, and many of you would perhaps already be knowing, that in his that 4 important lectures which he had given, Pandit ji had mentioned that each nation, it has its cultural and societal central ideas, which are known as chittis. And also, each society has its own some peculiarities which are described as Virat. And individuals, they have their tasks that are cut out, and they have various manifestations of activities. So how these various activities are actually, they are integrated by individuals into a continuous chain of interaction through society, that is basically the essence of integral humanism. And in doing this, we need to draw upon the best of our Indian traditional knowledge systems, but also make it contemporary so that they can meet our needs for today and also prepare us for a task tomorrow. And I would like to thank our speaker for making this absolutely clear today. The topic that she chose, she made it so relevant for our own knowledge, for our current times. She mentioned about in dance, how dance reaches a stage where only the dance remains and the dancer disappears. She mentioned about dance yoga, being a static yoga, being dynamic yoga. And I was also reminded, many of you would also be science students and engineering students, that when we read in physics about origin of matter, and one of the most relevant and the current theories going about is about theory of quantum fluctuations, in which we believe that the whole world, universe, actually is an overlay of quantum fields which interact with each other. And once they reach certain value, then they result into lepton, they result into matter. So therefore, it is absolutely possible. What is inside me is outside me. And therefore, through yoga, through dance, it should be possible for our skin to just melt away and our inside to become outside, is same with outside. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for making this to us and for your fantastic address today. I would like to thank our President, Dr. Sashbudhe, for his continuous guidance, for telling us and guiding us throughout this process of organizing this event. I must also mention that the idea, the initiative of bringing the Deendayal Upadhyay Memorial Lecture to Pune was his idea. And this was the first time that we brought this international oration outside Delhi and outside Delhi to Pune, and Pune was the first choice for us. So, yes. Thank you very much. I would also like to thank here Dr. Majumdar and Dr. Vidya Ravdekar for their support, for making it possible for us to organize this event today. I would also like to thank all of you present today. This wonderful audience. In fact, this hall is completely full. And just before coming here, I am reminded that we have a meeting with some people, and they mentioned about some issues with 1 to 4 o'clock in Pune. And I think that is completely incorrect. That is not correct at all. And again, I would like to, in the end, convey my very, very sincere thanks to all the faculty members who made this possible, and also our ICCR staff and the faculty. So once again, thank you very much, and have a very, very good evening. Welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. Before we move on to the second part, I invite all the international students to quickly come up on stage for a photograph with our esteemed guests. Please come quickly. I request the audience to continue to remain seated, because we will be having a cultural dance program immediately after this photograph.
Some of them come from this side. Vandana, where 750 dancers from Pune presented 4 different classical styles. SNS also organizes with the Omkareshwar Mandir Trust a concert series, Nritya Bandha, and along with Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Lakshya, a festival for soloists. Today, you will witness an enthralling performance by 7 different dance schools of Pune, each presenting a different style of Indian classical dance. Indian dance has proudly stood the test of time as our cultural ambassador. From the likes of Ted Shawn, Ragini Devi to Ram Gopal, Uday Shankar to the present, Indian classical dance has carved a niche for itself and continues to capture the global imagination. One of the more popular dance forms worldwide, Bharatanatyam, has over the decades spread its branches and put down new roots everywhere. It has woven within its vocabulary images and icons from Indian mythology and philosophy, as well as from the tenets of Indian spirituality. Today, Kalavardhini Dance Company's production Trinetram expounds on the glory of Shiva. Kalavardhini Dance Company, established under the guidance of Dr. Cheta Bhide Sapekar, has worked towards the performance, propagation and preservation of Bharatanatyam. Kalavardhini today operates under the able leadership of Srimati Arundhati Patwardhan, and today's production is one of her beautiful choreographies. The production depicts the different facets of Shiva, his wild strength, his beauty as Nataraja, the god of dance. Shiva, the destroyer of all evil, we bow down to you. Based on a creative interpretation of a popular Shiva Drupad, it showcases the rhythm and dynamic vibrancy characteristic of Bharatanatyam. This piece will be performed by Saili Kane, Rucha Khare, Vikiraj Kadale, Sagarika Patwardhan, and Srimati Arundhati Patwardhan. Music and percussion by Shri Satish Krishnamurthy, vocal Shri Aditya Modak, violin Shri B. Anantaraman, and sound design Shri Amod Kulkarni, presenting Trinetram.
The cosmic vibration is eternal and unstruck. It is unlike any other. It is a part of us, and yet it is all around us. It is divine. It is Shiva. It is the Anahata. It is the sound of river Ganga in his hair. It is the sound of Jata flowing in the air. It is the sound of two hearts beating in tandem. It is the sound of two principles merging into one guided path. It is the sound heard when all others cease to exist. It is the sound of our souls and his Damaru. It is him. Om Namah Shivaya. Kalavardhini Dance Company presents Anahata, the Divine Resonance.
Ganga Ramaniya Jatakalapa Ganga Ramaniya Jatakalapa Gauri Nirantara Vibhushita Vamabhaga Gauri
I am the void. I am nothing, and I am everything. I am the first speck from within the nothingness. I am the first form and the first breath, ragged and shallow. I am the first purpose, the first movement, traveling from the nothing towards the everything. I am the void, and I am the world, and in this world, I am the first rhythm, constant and eternal. I am Om Tananom Tananom Tananom.
India is an agrarian country, and we all delight in our diverse food practices. Yet, how many of us acknowledge the blood and sweat shed by our farmers? Farmers, the caretakers of our rural heritage, spend day and night toiling away. Today, as a tribute, Shri Akram Sheikh and Samhita Chaudhary of the Akram Dance Company present a performance in Mayurbhanj Chhau. Akram Dance Company, founded in 2012 by Mr. Akram Sheikh, a student of Shri Santosh Nair, works extensively on the study, innovation and promotion of Mayurbhanj Chhau. A dance from the Mayurbhanj district of Orissa, it borrows its vocabulary from the ancient martial art traditions and is another example of how dance encompasses different aspects of our culture to protect for our next generation and as a trailer for the world to see all that India has to offer. Today's piece is but a small effort to recreate a glimpse of a farmer's life and shed light on the rawness of his emotions. It is the story of a farming couple who share all the ups and downs of life together and their moments of celebration and hope for the future. Presenting Chasha by Akram Sheikh and Samhita Chaudhary in Mayurbhanj Chhau. To paraphrase an old quote by Srimati Sonal Mansingh, dance doesn't function in isolation. It enables the audience to experience our rich musical heritage, our textiles, our stories, a glimpse of the vastness of our culture with every Avartanam, where Bharatanatyam explores theories of geometry and Chau displays its strength. Odissi sparkles in its lyrical traditions. Akanksha Odissi Nrityalaya was founded in 2017 by Srimati Rasika Gumaste, a disciple of Srimati Yogini Gandhi and Srimati Maniktai Ambike. Today, Srimati Rasika Gumaste will perform with her students, Alisha Shiroe, Gauri Shukla, and Vaishnavi Daithankar. An amalgamation of Tandava and Lasya, the artists will paint graceful designs through their presentation of a Pallavi. A Nritta composition, it is known for its slow, graceful movements that build up to a crescendo at its climax, akin to a blooming flower. Again, such a characteristic of Indian dance when Nritta has no meaning and yet says it all. Composed in Rag Arabi and set to Tal Chatushra Ek Tali, Srimati Rasika Gumaste and her students will now present Pallavi.
ma pa dha sa ni da pa ma ga sa re ga ma ga re sa ma pa dha sa ni da pa ma ga sa re ga ma ga re sa ma pa dha sa ni da pa ma ga sa re ga ma ga re sa
My apologies in advance for the Rasabhanga, but an important notice has come up. If the owner of a blue Renault MH12 SL 1430 could please move their car, the security has sent a message. I repeat the car number, MH12 SL 1430. Thank you so much. Moving on to our next performance, Kathakali. What a beautiful child, with big eyes and gorgeous black curly hair. Don't cry, baby. Your mother will come soon, says Putana. Putana does not want to kill the baby, and so she curses Kansa for this terrible plot. But as she tries to leave, the evil in her returns. I've killed lots of children and drank their blood. I can kill this one last child. She poisons her milk and feeds it to the baby, but he sucks the very life out of her. In her death, she sees an image of Lord Vishnu and knows that it was none other than Lord Krishna who has helped her to attain moksha. Kathakali, known for its operatic style of natya, brings to life this story today. It is interesting to note that today's story, Putana Moksham, performed in Stri Vesham, is one of the few stories told in the female voice. Srimati Nithi Nair, a student of Guru Srimati Rama Shrikant and Guru Shri Udyog Mandal Vikraman Pillai, imparts training in her institute Annapurna Nrityodaya in Bharatanatyam, Mohini. She will now present Putana Moksham in Kathakali. From the satras of Assam to the modern stage, Satriya has a rich historical tradition. A Vaishnavite art form, the dance dramas of Satriya keep alive the traditions and stories of the Bhagavad Puran, while other compositions in their repertoire bring to life Krishna and his tales. Today, we get to experience a traditional Shuddha Nrita Mela Nach Jhumura of Purushabhangi of Porital, followed by a performance on Borgit Kala Kanu Nache in Rag Gauri and Porital, a composition by Srimanta Shankaradev. This Borgit describes the various deeds of Krishna and his divine dancing. Such has been Satriya's soft power that not only are non-Assamese dancers learning this art form, but it has also found institutional acceptance outside of Assam for formal training. Today's presentation is by Dr. Devika Borthakur, founder Adi School of Dance, and her students Akshata Mani, Sakshi Gaikwad, Anuradha Nalavde, and Yosha Roy, presenting Satriya. Krishna Hankara Guru Hari Rama Hari Rama
नासतु हे आदि देवो रे नासतु हे आदि देवो रे नासतु हे आदि देवो रे
Srimati Gayatri Ambekar, a student of Srimati Vempatti Nageshwari, founded the Nritya Priya Kuchipudi Dance Academy in 2005 in Pune and has trained over 100 students in this discipline. She, along with her daughter Shrita Ambekar, will be presenting a kriti in the Kuchipudi style of dance. The different shades of Krishna, his anecdotes, his victories have been immortalized in many beautiful compositions that Kuchipudi can lay claim to. Today's kriti by Uttukad Venkata Subbayar describes the glory and splendor of Lord Krishna with poetic excellence. Gopala's attire is adorned beautifully with emeralds, and he exceeds 1,000,000 Manmathas in beauty. He is Govinda, the embodiment of supreme bliss. He is Mukunda, the bestower of salvation. One of the traditional pieces of Kuchipudi, Srimati Gayatri and Shrita Ambekar will now present Marakata Manimaya, along with a short Sanchari Bhava of Sudama and Krishna's meeting in Rag Arabi, Tal Adi, presenting Kuchipudi.
Thank you.
తకదికతో తకతో తకదిరా కనకమణిమయము పురచరణ తకదికతో తకతో తకదిరా కనకమణిమయము పురచరణ తకదికతో తకతో తకదిరా కనకమణిమయము పురచరణ
తజం తత్తకిడకి తద్దితం కిడకి దర్కిడకి తజం తత్తకిడకి దిం 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 తజం తత్తకిడకి తద్దితం కిడకి దర్కిడకి దం తకదం తక్కద్దిం తత తజం తత్తకిడకి తద్దితం కిడకి దర్కిడకి తజం తత్తకిడకి తర్కిడి దర్కిడదం తజం తత్తకిడకి దర్కిడి దర్కిడదం తజం తత్తకిడకి దర్కిడదం తర్కిడదం 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 దండ తజ్జింద తర్కిడదం దండ తజ్జండి దండ తజ్జండి తర్కిడదం దండ తజ్జింది దండ తజ్జింది తర్కిడదం దండ తక్కి దండ తక్కి తర్కిడదం దంకిడదం దర్కిడదం దంకిడదం దర్కిడదం దంకిడదం దర్కిడదం దర్కిడదం దిత్తా తజం తజ్జిండ తదిత్తా తజం తజ్జిండ తదా తజం కిడదం దర్కిడదం కిడదం దర్కిడదం కిడదం దర్కిడదం దిత్తా తజం తక్క తజ్జిండ తదిత్తా తజం తక్క తజ్జిండ తదా తజం కిడదం దర్కిడదం కిడదం దర్కిడదం కిడదం దర్కిడదం దిత్తా తజం తక్క దిక్కు తజ్జిండ తదిత్తా తజం తక్క దిక్కు తజ్జిండ తదా తజం తక్క దిక్కు కిడదం దర్కిడదం తక్క దిక్కు కిడదం దర్కిడదం తక్క దిక్కు కిడదం దర్కిడదం
తకదికతో తకతో తకదిరా కనకమణిమయము పురచరణ కల్పిత కలి కలుషధ్వని వర్ధన కాళికనర్దన కలిత జనార్దన పరజన
The finale to our recital this evening will be a presentation by Nadarup, established by Guru Srimati Shama Bhate, the production, Krishna the Liberator. In Indian conscience, Krishna is a complete personality, Purna Purush, and also the philosopher, Jagat Guru. In his childhood, he helped the Gokulvasis through various calamities, releasing them from their shackles, frustrations, and inner demons. Krishna vanquished Kaliya, the serpent king who made the life in Gokul miserable. And by freeing the locals from the polluted water, he set right the balance of flora and fauna. He taught them to fight for their own rights, not to succumb to the tyranny of the king Kansa. This production is an effort to establish a contemporary context to the stories and their linear expositions. The problems and sufferings of the underprivileged are age-old, and we look for a savior, but the savior perhaps could be found amongst us. Concept and choreography, Vidushi Shama Bhate. Music, Kedar Pandit. Dancers, Amira Patankar, Avni Gadre, Bhargavi Sardesai, Isha Nanal, Shraddha Mukhde, Shreya Kulkarni, Prachiti Bhave, and Savni Sahasrabuddhe. With this, I and Rupa Soman will also take your leave. Thank you for being a wonderful audience. Let us now witness the finale, Krishna the Liberator.
जगद्गुरु
कृष्ण ने कालिया दमन करके गोकुल में फैले हुए जमुना के प्रदूषण का निवारण किया। पूरा गोकुल, बच्चे बूढ़े फिर से खुशहाल हो गए। सूखे पत्ते हरे भरे हो गए। सिकुड़े हुए मोर फिर से नाचने लगे। सिमटे हुए पंछी आकाश में फिर से उड़ान भरने लगे और मुरझाए हुए फूल फिर से खिल उठे।
हम गंधर्व सभी देवतानि सूरदास प्रभु के किन भुजानि चन 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 चरण भरत अभय भयोगानि नादे बिना नादे बिना नादे बिना
कंस एक जुल्मी, दुष्ट, स्वार्थी राजा थे। प्रजा से धन संपत्ति लूटते थे, डराते धमकाते थे, लगान वसूला जाता था। प्रजाजन भयग्रस्त थे, परेशान थे। जब कंस का बुलावा आ गया तो अक्रूर के साथ कृष्ण चल दिए मथुरा। पहले कुवलिया पीड़ हाथी के रूप में आए राक्षस को उन्होंने छिन्न विच्छिन्न कर दिया। फिर सिंहासन पे विराजमान उद्दाम कंस को भी। सभी प्रजाजनों को निर्दयी कंस के अत्याचारों से मुक्ति दिलाई और कहा, अगर अत्याचार करने वाला दोषी है तो उतना ही अत्याचार सहने वाला भी।
I would like to invite on stage Srimati Arundhati Patwardhan and dancers of Kalavarthini Dance Company. Mr. Akram Sheikh and Samhita Chaudhary of Akram Dance Company. Srimati Rasika Gumaste and dancers of Akanksha Odissi Nrityalaya. Srimati Neethi Nair. Srimati Devika Borthakur and dancers of Adi Dance Academy. Srimati Gayatri and Shrita Ambekar. And Srimati Amira Patankar and dancers of Nadaroop.